the Hope Candle. This candle represents hope and faith in God's promises. It reminds us of the prophecies that foretold the coming of the Messiah and God's faithfulness in fulfilling them. Hope also encourages us to trust in God's plans for our lives, even when we cannot see the outcome. In January of 2023, I returned to work from maternity leave. I was very unhappy with the position that I held at the time, and I wanted to be out of that job before the holidays. I proceeded to apply to any and every position that was open. On September 14th, 2023, I received a call asking to schedule an interview. On September 25th, 2023, I interviewed for this position, and I left that interview feeling discouraged and unqualified. I had only thoughts of things that I could have said, and maybe if I had answered like this. On September 27th, 2023, I got a call stating that I had gotten the job, but I was offered about $5,000 less than what I was making at the time. I took a day to think over the offer. On one hand, I was being offered a flexible schedule with set time off, free weekends, no holidays. But on the other hand, I have 2 kids. $5,000 is a lot of money. How could God give me this job that was everything I wanted and be taking money from me? I ultimately decided to take that job, but I was very scared of how would I be able to afford my life. I thought back to when I heard Pastor Mo talk about how tithing changed her life. So I said, if it worked for her, maybe I should try it. I took the job. My first day was November 13th, 2023. I got my first paycheck on November 30th, 2023. I deposited the check into my account, and when the money cleared, I sent my 10% over to the church. I said, God, as long as you make sure my kids don't go without, I won't ask for any more. Fast forward, a year later, I'm excited to pay my tithes. I'm excited to have money left over in between checks to be able to give an offering because God has kept me and my kids. My children know when mommy will be home. My children know that mommy's going to be at every practice. Mommy's going to be at every game. Mommy's going to be at every appointment. I no longer have to stress about if I'm spending enough time with my kids, if I have enough time for my family, if I have enough time for myself. I no longer stress about where the money's going to come from because God placed me here. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and to not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Even when things seem like they aren't adding up and you don't know which way to turn, just continue to hold on to your hope because God has the finished plan.
Good morning, Greater Grace. First, I want to give honor to God, who's the head of my life, and then honor to Bishop and Lady Lisa for giving me this opportunity to be an Advent speaker, to share a few words about the hope or the prophecy candle. This candle represents hope and faith in God's promises. It reminds us about the prophecies of the coming of the Messiah, the coming of Jesus. and how God was faithful enough to fulfill that promise. He didn't have to do it, but he did. And then hope that, what our life plans will come out to be prosperous. I mean, we don't know what tomorrow is going to be, but we hope that it will be prosperous. We hope that things will work out the way they should. And we put trust in God. And that's what this candle is a representation for. We put our faith in God. And so I wrote a poem about that, and it's called Keep the Faith. The storm of life has been raging with unexplainable winds to which I'm facing. Thunder and lightning strikes seems almost unpredictable, bringing the rain trials that's unavoidable. I knew this road would not be easy, forewarned from the start that things would get bumpy and a little more than just breezy. I've been traveling on this journey and it seems such a long way. Ain't no way I'm giving up now. No, not today. Things get worse when you're close to the end, which gotta mean a breakthrough is waiting for me on the other side of the rainbow bend. In order to get through and standing tall, I have to recognize the uncertainties, have confidence, and remain calm through it all. Not focusing on the storm pouring out in front of me, but always remembering who has dominion over me. Reminded that before it was his word, faith, and prayer that brought me through. And those will be the same things to keep me all together like glue. Putting my trust in the master's plan makes a world of difference than depending on a worldly man. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes with the morning light. I will forever put my trust in him, knowing that at times life may be rocky, but never dim. So, just to recap, something that, I'm not that old, but what the old folks used to say, God did it for mom and them, so I know he can do it for me and for my babies. That was the prophecy, and that's my hope, because I have the faith and my trust is in God. And you do too.